Hey everybody, it's Pete. How's it going? Beautiful day. It's Saturday afternoon, about 5 o'clock. I think we might go musky fishing tonight. The boats were stacking up at the mouth of the river. There's lots of guys out there tossing bulldogs and big fancy lures that cost 80, 90 bucks and some huge surf rods. You don't need all that stuff. Today we're going to talk about some of the bigger crankbaits that you can get some musky on. You catch bass and pike on them too. They're all predator fish. They'll all hit these lures. I've caught musky on almost every one of these. We'll start off with this guy here. This is called the Reef Runner. You can always tell by the shape and the angle of that front. I call it a spoon. That's what makes the lure dive down into the water. When you pull on your line, that's what makes the lure go down. This one's called a Reef Runner. They've always been a great producer on Lake Erie for walleye. I use them in the shallower water for bass, pike. I've caught musky on them. This one's actually caught a tiger musky, which is the hybrid. We have those in Lake Erie. That's a Reef Runner. It's about 5.5 inches. Great lure. It's caught lots of fish for me in the past. This is a jointed long Rapala, triple hook. It's I believe this one's a sinker, so it starts to sink, and with the little spoon on the front, this guy just kind of goes down and he wiggles and he shakes and wiggles. The two piece makes it wiggle. I've caught plenty of pike in the French River on this guy. They seem to like the giant minnow pattern. I don't know exactly what it looks like or what it mimics, but this is a black ridge, white bottom and silver sides. It's been a good lure. I've used it in the St. Clair River, a Lake Huron, Lake St. Clair, Lake Erie, the French River. I like it. That's a Rapala. This one's a Bomber, long A, very similar to the Rapala. I really like Bomber lures. They're not quite as expensive as Rapala sometimes. It's been a long time since I bought lures. I've had these for a long time. This one's got lots of teeth marks in it. This has been smashed by lots of pike. This is, my best guess would be this is to represent a perch, a small perch, something, you know, a 30-inch pike would just love to have for dinner. The red eyes probably trigger it. It's just a chartreuse green body. It gets a little darker on the top, then it's got the dash marks on the side, and again, it's a wiggler. This is a floater though, so this one, when you cast it, it sits on top of a lot of water and floats, and then with the spoon out a little more pronounced and bigger on the front, that makes it pull down harder. So this one runs at about 10 to 15 feet, depends on how you run it and jerk it. And again, it wiggles, and this one's a really fun one to watch come back at you because you can really see it in most water around here. Most water around here's kind of got the bluish tinge to it, so you can see the green coming through. So again, those two are jointed. And here's another one. This one's one I've used with downriggers and my planer boards before. This is a Smithwick. It's gold on the top ridge, silver on the sides, red at the front with the big red eyes, and this has got the big pronounced spoon. So this baby just wants to go down. This wants to get deep. This one's a great one on planer boards. Lots of walleye. This is a walleye lure to me, but it's a crankbait and it's 6 inches long, so it will catch pike, it will catch musky, it will catch bass. Problem with bass fishing for these is the treble hooks. They get bung up in the weeds really good, and then, you know, it's a pain in the butt. Anyways, Smithwick. That one hasn't caught a lot of fish, but it's definitely caught a couple walleye out in Lake Erie. Here's another one. This one has not seen the water very often. This is more of a collector's lure for me. I have a whole box of classic Rapalas from the 80s and 90s. I don't know if I've ever swam this one or not. If I did, I'd probably put it behind a downrigger on something with some serious line, like maybe some Berkley 80-pound big game trilene, because I don't want to lose it. This is a really cool lure. It's got the metal spoon in the front attached to the body, the big treble hooks, and it's not a jointed, it's a solid. It's a Rapala CD14 Magnum. So I don't even know if I could replace this lure today. I have a couple color patterns of it. This one's the blue top with the black lines kind of going over the ridge to a bright metallic kind of silverish white bottom. I'm sure this would be an awesome lure, but they're going to my kids someday, and I think they'll just look at them and say, man, those were neat looking. So that's a Rapala that's never been used, and I would have bought it in the 90s, I'm sure, probably early 90s, mid 90s. Now here's a Rapala that I just found up on the French River. I made it onto a couple little islands out in different spots that aren't accessible by anything but boat. And we had rented a little fishing boat up there, and I was walking the shorelines and I found this guy. So this is a Rapala. I can't quite make out what it's called or what the model was, but it's kind of a fat shad with double treble hooks. You can see them, they're just about rotted right off. There's no points on them. This one's rotted off, but it's got this cool old steel lead up there. I've never seen one like this, the way it hooks on. Maybe it's a northern thing. For me, I'm in southern Ontario. This would get hooked up in a lot of weeds for me. But anyways, I took it, and I'm gonna put some new trebles on there, put it in the Rapala bin in my box. Pretty cool. Here's a big guy. This is getting closer to maybe 7.5 inches. It's definitely a perch design. It's got some balls in it, like ball bearings. So it's got a big, kind of an odd spoon on the front. It comes down on a 45, and it's kind of concave. So this guy is gonna do the same thing. He's gonna dive and wiggle it, and he'll just swim back and forth like that. No body movement because it's not adjointed. Again, this is a perch, definitely a perch pattern. It's a Matsui American lure, red bottom. People say that the orangish red really triggers the fish. I'm not sure if it does or not, but these are all crankbaits that you can fish for muskie with. Right now, muskie fishing is just starting up here because it's fall. They're coming in a little bit to the mouths of the rivers for some bait fish. So we're gonna go out there and nail some. I don't keep them, and I'm really happy if they can give me a head shake right when I'm almost at the break wall or at the dock, and I don't have to unhook them either. I like them to stay in the water. I use 14-pound test. I have a couple rods set up a little bit heavier. I'm a sportsman. I know how to run my drag on all of my reels. I do use steel leads because these toothy buggers will cut you off every time. But when you see me fishing, I'm gonna be fishing with 14-inch monofilament line with a steel lead. And if I change things up and I put my surf rod out or something like that, I'm gonna tell you, say, hey, I've switched to Berkeley 65-pound big game. Now we're not gonna miss anything. This is kind of like the guys that bass fish in tournaments and use 20-pound or 25-pound tests, and they just, hog them right out of there. I'm a bit more of a sportsman. I have one rod set up with 2-pound tests that I go for bluegill. I've caught a couple bullgills on there, but it's a lot more fun that way when they're buzzing your drag, and it takes a little time, and more people stand there and watch you do it too, because it's more exciting for them to see. But these are crankbaits that work. Here's an off-topic one. This is supposed to look like a Rapala rattle trap. It's a big, I guess it's a crankbait, and it uses the front nose here as the spoon to pull it down. So this guy goes, it depends how hard you pull them, what type of line you're using and stuff, but usually I can drag this guy back about 12 feet below the surface, and you can really feel the resistance. Those balls all shake, and it's kind of got, it's a see-through, kind of see-through iridescent in there too, so it's interesting. I've caught pike on this.